Emelina Caraway was the perfect woman. Kind, funny, and not afraid to be herself. She had never done anything bad in her entire life, not even once. She had everything she wanted, but there was one man, horse, that was about to change everything. This is the story of how Emelina met Roger Horsley.
Roger? That stupid, sexy man? You want me to retell that story? Fine, if you insist. But I'm not talking about the
So how exactly does a dating sim boss fight work? I've mashed up a lot of genres so far in Boss Up, but this one was particularly challenging to conceptualize. The idea of a boss that pays homage to visual novels and dialogue-based games has been kicking around in my concepts document ever since last May. Eventually I started playing with the idea of Roger being romantically involved, hinting at his relationship in past devlogs. Eagle-eyed viewers might know what I'm talking about. I just needed to find a gameplay idea to suit the concept, so I got to work. Eventually, the idea hit me. Instead of the typical boss-up fight with health bars, this fight will incorporate a gimmick that I'm calling the love meter. This meter indicates your progress in the fight. Fill it up by shooting Emelina with love bullets. Look out though, if Emelina hits you with those blue heartbreak bullets, you'll lose meter. Now if that was the only gimmick, that would be pretty lame, so here's the real big twist. After each round of heartbreak bullet attacks, Emelina will stop to ask you a question. You'll have 2 responses to choose between, and it's up to you to figure out what answer she'll like more. This is your chance to test if you have W or L Riz. If you get it right, you'll gain meter. If you get it wrong, you'll lose meter. You can also choose to skip the question for a small penalty. If you take too long deciding, you'll also lose meter, so try to think fast. Now let's start making some assets so we can see what this fight will look like. Emelina herself is the smallest boss sprite in the game, making sure that she's on the same scale as Roger. Because of this, I was able to hone in on the sprite to make sure each pixel was well placed. I gave her 3 outfits for reasons that will be explained later. Let's talk about this character a little bit. Emelina Calloway is the all-American girl next door personified. She canonically has 0 negative qualities. She has a wide variety of hobbies and interests, including writing horror stories, sewing, and gaming. And she always puts others before herself. She's almost obnoxiously perfect, at least to Roger. The two met on a dating app and really hit it off. She enjoyed Roger's sarcastic sense of humor and their shared interests, and Roger mostly just thought she was hot. He also admired her dedication and confidence, but it was really about how hot she was. After chatting for a while, the two decided to meet up in a local park for a date, and that's where the story of this encounter begins. Now that I've set the scene, let's start implementing the fight. I started by programming the questions and answers mechanic, storing all the text in a file to be read by the game at runtime. When Emelina's trigger is set off to ask a question, the game will randomly pick a number based on the phase of the fight, and the interface will display the dialogue and answer options correlating to that number. I also implemented the love bar, and the ability to answer the questions. Let's give it a test. Now that was working, I started working on the fight itself. I implemented her heartbreak bullet patterns next. She can launch a circle of hearts while teleporting around the screen, make them waterfall down from the ceiling while she shoots a steady flow of hearts from the right, and track the player while shooting a rotating spiral of hearts. Now I have to reveal something I've been hiding from you guys this whole time. This isn't a single-phased fight. I programmed in this romantic black and white transition to signify the passage of time. When the screen fades back in, we see Emelina in her gorgeous wedding dress. I know, I'm such a sneaky game developer, I bet none of you saw this coming. Now in this second phase, Emelina has a new bank of questions, asking deeper and more important questions, figuring out how she's going to live her new life with Roger. On top of that, she has 3 new attacks for this phase. She can summon a spiral of hearts that move slowly towards the center and then back out. She can shoot a heart made with hearts from the center of the screen. Finally, she can do this Eye of the Hurricane pattern, where you have to stay within her radius to avoid the thousands of heartbreak bullets emanating from her. Now that the wedding is on, let's fill the love bar one more time to see what happens next. I've got to pause here to apologize. I might have lied to you guys again. This isn't a happy love story, not at all. Eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that I've mentioned Roger's ex-wife in previous videos. Well, this is her. For For the final phase of this fight, Roger and Emelina have to navigate a divorce without causing too much damage to each other. The questions are icy, the attacks are brutal, and the relationship? It's over. In this phase, Emelina shoots piercing heartbreak spears at a rapid pace, representing the pain that Roger put her through. She rains heartbreak bullets down from above, representing the tears that she cried that night. And she revises her old waterfall attack, because I'm laid to represent her bittersweet memories of the time that she spent with Roger. Yeah. Filling up the love meter one last time, Roger and Emelina part ways on good terms, wishing each other the best and finally saying their goodbyes. Okay, Atria. Stop crying. You've got a video to make. Come on. The people need this by Valentine's Day. Lock in. Now here's a recording of the full fight. So that was the story of how Roger fell in and out of love with the woman of his dreams. What do you guys think? Was it hauntingly beautiful, tearing a hole in your heart, making you question why we even love in the first place? Well, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Which is why I think you would love these videos. Check out the Boss Up playlist to see more cool bosses, and be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with this game. I am painfully single. Thank you for watching.